It's got to be a wild touch to the music.
Oh, it is. Recording is such a gas. Wow. It's like, I feel the same way I did when the Allman Brothers got together. Like, I was the last one to arrive on the scene, and I had 22 songs written. My brother sent for me, and I ran down. Oh, it was like being on the lineup. I've never been on it, but they were all sitting around, you know. I ran down 20 songs, and they were, "What else you got?" You know, and I was sweating bullets. And then I played them Dreams and It's Not My Cross to Bear, and they loved it, you know. And right away we got into it, and just bam, right there. And within 3 days, I wrote Whipping Post. Within the next 2 weeks, I wrote the rest of the album. And that's the way it's happening again. I've actually been in about a 6.5-year writing slump. And any writers out there know this. I mean, it's almost like, you know, a few months go by and you don't, nothing really inspires you. And a year and a half has passed. And you think, well, damn.
Story for MTV, we didn't get to talk to you yet. I think you were just going into your ear problem then, or they said there was your throat, you were sick as hell that night. And you went on and you couldn't tell you were sick. I mean, your voice, it just came out, you know.
Well,
you're right, the audience couldn't tell.
It's going back and forth from north to south.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I had bronchial pneumonia when I was a baby, and I was born with it, as a matter of fact. And I've just always, I mean, no matter how many jackets and hoods and boots and whatever you put on, you know, you still got to breathe that freezing air.
Tell me about it. It was 30 degrees in Atlanta when we went up there to shoot, and we went up in these rigs here, you know, we were freezing our...
But you get up there like, I just came back from Minneapolis. Well, it's a blues-loving town. We played in this place, man, there was 900 people crammed into this small room. And I'm telling you, those people, it might have been below zero outside, but it was getting down there. You know, you ride on the bus and you see all these gray, frozen trees, you think, oh, God, I'd like to be sitting on the dock of the bay. Right. And you get up there, those people, they're so alive, man. I love it. You know, it's worth the sore throats. It's worth all.
Yeah, it's day-to-day life gets so miserable, but they do like to listen to music. I mean, some of those northern cities that are so bleak, you know, like Cleveland rocks, you know, all those towns that who wants to go there, you know, but people live there.
Really?
You know, it's insane. Oh yeah, what's you don't have a record out now, so what's the process now? You're gonna tour a little bit, work the band into the road, and then the next step is record and label.
Yeah, we've already done some recording. We're doing it like demo type recording, you know, not master recording. Right. And just you lay it down once and see how it fits together, and then live with it a while. Mm-hmm. And then if you get out and play it live, that's when the real rehearsal takes place, you know. That's when a song really tightens up, and anything that shouldn't be there leaves. You know, because you're under the gun, you know, of the audience. Yeah. And so I'm going to take my time doing this. I hope to get a summer release. I'm negotiating now with a couple of different labels.
Who are those labels, Greg? What are we talking here? We got big advances coming, Greg. They must be looking for you. I mean, I bet they're out there saying, "What's Greg gonna do now?" And you know, you're
I'm looking for them too.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm ready. I tell you.
Get in touch with David Geffen, man. He seems to be doing things right these days. You know?
My God, where did you come up with that? That's one that did not. David Geffen's a hell of a person. Yeah. I met him through Jackson Brown. He's a very good man.
Yeah, seems to know the business real well.
It's like King Midas.
Yeah, unbelievable what he's done in the last couple of years. You were saying before we rolled camera here that you were going to do some songs, and there are significant Allman Brothers songs that you never play in concert. Today we're going to hear some of those here on the campus of FIU. Tell us which one.
One song that we're going to play is one that the Allman Brothers never, ever, once ever played live. It's a song I wrote in the summer of '69. I'll Leave My Blues at Home. And it's really, it's about the same arrangement, but it really cooks, it really does. And we're doing Hot Atlanta. And I start off the show, I walk out by myself and just pick up an acoustic guitar and just face the fire and do Midnight Rider. That's it. That kills any and all butterflies. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
How about new material? What are the stuff you've been working on?
Well, the material that we had down went back in. I mean, after the horns came a different shade, different change.
Yeah.
And now the whole thing is, the whole pie is together. And I guess the only reason I give you is that we're not doing any new live ones tonight is it's just too soon. I can play them to you on tape, but they're demo, you know. But demo is a recording, that's for sure.
You gotta work
Many
on that.
demos have been released and sold millions.
What album did Leave My Blues at Home show up on? That was Out of Wild South, or was it before that?
It was the first one, the Allman Brothers Band.
Allman Brothers Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were so many to pick from. I remember, you know, I mean, really shook up the disc jockeys around on early underground radio. You know, you'd grab that and just track the son of a bitch because it just didn't have a
I always
pickup.
wanted to recut that album someday, because we were rushed in there, Atlantic Records, and they said, all right, now you got 2 weeks and 1 day. Shut the door. And
No kidding.
some of the guys never even been in New York City. You know.
Did you finish it in that time?
Oh yeah, we got it done.
That's, you know, you don't see that much these days. But I guess you will now that the economy is getting back to that. You got to go in there and do your pre-production and power down and get that record done.
Yeah, it's I tell you, they ought to put out a game like Monopoly of the music business. I tell you.
Why don't you do that, Greg? You might be the best qualified to do that.
Oh,
Sell it
it
to
would
Parker
run me
Brothers.
crazy trying to put all the pieces together. Think how many lawsuits you'd have.
Oh boy, you have to change the names around a little bit.
Yeah, to protect the
The
innocent and guilty.
be a hell of a seller though. Probably go to video, be a video game, you know, which Journey came out with. You know, it's not unusual. You know. All right, we got to
shoot this promoter down.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This promoter beat me, you know, murder 3 steps and go back and, you know,
Well,
find.
his Maserati.
Right.
Get the promoter out the back door with the bag into the Maserati.
Yeah, overcome
money.
four groupies in the hallway attempting to slay you, you know, and all
Make
that.
like he's going out for coffee with $500,000 in the back. People
Yeah.
don't realize that happens. Probably still happens.
I know. That's why there's so many people who still try and get backstage when the show's out front. You know, people want to know that. That's why we find the need for doing interviews, because it is as important as the show is in your music. People want to know, you know, what makes you go.
We opened the Superdome in New Orleans. They ran out the back with the money. We didn't get paid a dime for that. It was some $80-some thousand for that concert.
What did you do?
Kept on trucking, I guess.
Call your lawyer.
He's running out the side door at the same time.
God, that's
I
a
just
hard-
didn't want anybody looking at me, you know.
Yeah, right. Hey, Greg. you
I was
know,
on stage, man.
That's horrible. A night's work, shot to hell, you know. Don't worry about it.
Well, I mean, it's with such a bunch of, I mean, here you think the largest building, I mean, here we're talking Guinness Book of World Records.
Right.
And that kind of petty stuff's going on out the back, you know. I mean, really.
Well, you heard about the, you know, when we caught your act up in Stewart for the David Harrison benefit concert, and there was all kinds of shit that hit the fan there. That poor kid, we talked to David, you know, we had a great time with him. He was, you know, he was really excited about that whole day, and
Wasn't that sad?
someone booked with all the money.
And
Someone
we
asked me-
froze. But I tell you what,
Yeah, what
Talk about freezing. Talk about being on the light tower facing you.
We were cold.
In shorts.
well, the one who really got the shaft into that deal was little David.
Yeah.
And I hope that whoever took the money on that one chokes on it.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of
awful,
people.
man.
That goes beyond, I mean, you know, let's talk levels of thievery, and, you know.
I mean, really.
You know, there's a million things to steal, but from this kid,
Whew.
he-
Stealing
Really?
from a rich rock and roll band is pretty bad. Stealing from a
Yeah,
kid
right.
is not doing well, is it?
yeah,
Pouring water on a drowning man.
yeah, absolutely. So maybe somewhere down the road, you and David will cross paths again. You never know. So,
Sounds fine to me.
yeah. Well, let's book that, John. Let's get.
You're going to promote it?
We'll see to it he gets the bread. Well, look, we're gonna let you go play, and we're gonna be out there with you for a little while, and we'll see you after the show and go back and hear these new songs.
Okay.
I want to ask you right before you go out, we asked Buddy Bowie what rock and roll meant to him, and he said his BMW 633S, was it CSI or something, and he loved saying, oh,
Oh, there's a lot more to it than that.
What's it to you?
It's the most different form of life anybody could ever have. It is never a dull moment. That's better than a whole fleet of BMWs.
I tend to agree with you. You can always get a BMW.
Really.
All right, Greg, good luck
Small
out there.
taters.
You're not doing it, Mike.
Okay, go make him sweat out there.
Yeah.
Probably good.
Won't sweat. I'm at a head start.
Yeah. I think they're probably...
That's good, man. I loosen me up. I need that.
Good. Well, after 3 tries, it was glad we could finally do it.
Me too.
We'll get the sauna and the hot tub fired up here for after the show.
The show. We'll have a cool dip.
Oh.
Hey, maybe I ought to bring...
This seems to be the coolest room in the whole
Is it
place.
really? That was a little bit hot when I got in here. I guess
This might be the ticket, Greg. Right here, you gotta bring that guy out with you.
Roll
on
it into the
stage.
audience.
Roll it into the audience.
You know, like what was that show that was on that big white ball kept chasing that guy? The Sons.
Concert?
No, it was a TV series. It was a British guy.
Not a Monty Python, Rick?
No, this was serious. It was Michael Caine, I think.
Oh,
It was all the big rubber balls.
Something Man, like Midnight Man or something like that.
You know, like some kind of fusion.
Yeah, yeah.